I've decided to read Emily Henry for an entire week. That's right, it's four Emily Henry books in 7 days. I'm giving romance another try. It's been a long, long time since I've picked up a romance book. I wanna read about heartbreaks and friendships and books and beach and happy place and vacations. The four books that I'm gonna read are Happy Place, Beach Walk, People We Meet on Vacation. That's interesting. And Book Lovers. So I'm so excited to read this. It's definitely going to be a challenge reading four books in a week, but I'm going to do it for you. Let's get started. All right, my first book out of four is Victory. Yeah, I'm nowhere near a beach whatsoever. I will still try to get the ambiance of a beach. I wish I was on a summer holiday when I was reading it, but it's February and it's not holiday time for me yet. So yeah, I'm gonna beach read at home. No, nothing. I don't know nothing about this book, but let me read it to you. January is a hopeless romantic who narrates her life like she's the lead in a blockbuster movie. Gus is a serious literary type who thinks true love is a fairy tale. But January and Gus have more in common than you'd think. They're both broke. They have crippling writer's block and they need to write bestsellers before summer ends. Sounds very interesting. I do love books about books, so I like the fact that they both are writers. Hmm. Let's get started. Okay, I'm not sure what I was yapping about in here, but my mic was obviously turned off. I was reading outside and the sun was so hot, my camera totally shut off. So I came inside just to cool down. And as you can see, I am oily AF. I mean, call the Sula police. Anyway, I'm gonna resume reading and I'm gonna enjoy it, resume reading inside. 100 pages into beach read. I guess the story is all right. January, our FMC is at her recently passed father's cottage shack up in Michigan, and she is planning to write her novel. She's really far behind her recent romantic novel, so she's planning to write it over there and probably at the end of her write end up selling the house as well. So it's a small town in Michigan, and she is just getting to know the place. So she found a bookstore and a cafe, and she befriends this barista person. So Pete invites Jan to her book club with other ladies as well. And in that bookstore, a handsome fellow enters, and guess who that is? It's Gus, her former nemesis. And she hides behind a bookshelf, but somehow they meet. They have a little meet cute, and Pete ends up inviting both of them to their book club. And when Jan goes into the book club, she finds that there is another woman over there, and shocking, shocking, she was her father's mistress. And Jan has to go back home. It's pouring rain. So Gus offers to take Jan to the cottage because Gus and Jan are neighbors and they've met before. Now, while they're on the car, they get into talking. They get into ask, like, why you're here, why you're here. Gus offers to write a romantic book for Jan, and Jan offers to write a literary fiction, which is Gus's genre, to write for him. And they're going to write through the week. And on the weekend, Saturday, Gus is going to take Jan to a place where he does some research for his lit fic book. And then on Sunday, Jan is going to take Gus to do whatever research she needs to do for her romance novel. I felt like something was coming up, so I stopped reading because I was feeling really drowsy. I mean, I finished 100 pages. I'm planning to finish another 100 pages today, and then tomorrow I'll read the rest. So, part two, I'm gonna put something on because it's a little chilly, and maybe make a cup of coffee, and then we're gonna read the rest. So, come along. I was totally thinking of finishing the chapter, but this chapter was really long and the sun was setting outside. I wasn't able to read anything clearly, so I thought I'll come down and I will finish the rest. In this chapter that I'm reading, they're really trying to understand their background. Jan opens up a little bit about her father, the mistress, her mom, and then Gus also opens a little bit about his past, how he was raised by a single mother, and how she was his rock, and how his father was really nowhere to be seen. He wasn't a great father. So, also going to guess that the book that Gus is going to write about, the romance novel that he's going to write on behalf of Jan, is either going to be their love story or it's going to be dad and the mistress or her parents. I'm putting three guesses. And hopefully one of them comes true. I've given three guesses. I'm sticking to it. Somewhere, I think that's where the book is gonna go. So let me read the rest of the 200 pages and I will check back in again. What? And chapter 13 is just a one-pager. She dreamt about Gus Everett and woke up needing a shower. I have finished it. I finished it finally. Now, I'm going to start with what I didn't like about the book, and there are a lot. First and foremost, the title of the book. Why do you have beach read as a title when there is a no beach reading happening in this entire book? Maybe once, but not really. There's no warm, sunny feeling. There's no beachy vibe to this. That's what I hate about it the most. Second thing that I did not like about this book was the overall romance. I didn't feel connected to either Gus or Jamie. I think I felt more connected to their backstory than both of them together. Janie had an amazing relationship with her father, and her father being passed away, who left some letters to her. Those letters were emotional. I also think that Gus didn't really have strong supporting characters to establish a really strong relationship, but I would have really loved to see his relationship with his parents, like her father being really abusive and her mom being a single mother. Now, to the hardest part, what I did like about this book, the banter initially, like they were roasting each other's up. I think if we would have kept that level and then gone up and high emotionally, it would have really worked for me. Say the first half was better than the last half. Those are really catchy, easy. If you want, you can read it in a day. I'm gonna rate this a 2 stars. Yeah, I think it's a 2 stars worthy. And I'm also putting Gus and January, our lovely couple from Beach Read, at the bottom of my favorite couple out of these four books. So yeah, not a good start, but it's okay. There were good moments here and there. All right, I'm gonna come back with book two. Fingers crossed. I want them to be better than 2 stars, please. Bye. On to my second read of Emily Henry Reading Marathon. Are some people only meant to exist in your vacation? Well, we shall find out in People We Meet on Vacation. I really have high hopes for this book because I was so disappointed with my first one. So I'm really hoping that this book will give me the vacation vibe. Please, please, please don't catfish me into thinking that this is a vacation novel and it ends up being a mundane, not so compelling love story. Let's read the blurb, shall we? 12 summers ago, Poppy and Alex meet. They hate each other and are pretty confident they'll never speak again. 12 summers ago, they're forced to share a ride home from college, and by the end of it, a pact is formed. Every year, one vacation together. 10 summers ago, Alex discovers his fear of flying. Poppy holds his hand the whole way. 7 summers ago, they get far too drunk and narrowly avoid getting matching tattoos in New Orleans. 2 summers ago, it all goes wrong. This summer, Poppy asks Alex to join her on one last trip. Could this trip make them realize they're not just friends after all? This seems intriguing. So, I do get a feeling that there will be vacations because there are vacations worth 12 summers. And of course, I'm going to add Alex and Poppy to my list of my top 4 favorite couples out of the 4 books that I'm going to read. And yeah, you just have to be better than Gus and January. I'm just saying. Let's get on to it. I am excited. Well, within the prologue, I could easily understand both of these characters clearly. Poppy is clearly an extrovert, and Alex is our typical. He's really giving off a typical introvert energy, and I like the way that they've introduced it, like trying to play like strangers in a bar. You can feel from Beach Read, and yeah, they are on a vacation like 5 summers ago. So there is vacation. I'm so glad. Yes. Let's read chapter 1. One thing I will say about Emily Henry, her books are really fast read. I think I've started this on day 2 evening. So if I were to start it in the morning, like if I were to start it like tomorrow morning, I could have easily finished the entire book. And I think I'm going to finish this in one day. Not today, but maybe the second half of tomorrow. Sober in the morning, and I read another 100 pages there, so that I was 200 pages in by my morning coffee. And then I had to run an errand, and I actually was waiting for something. And while I was waiting, I took my book with me and I read another 100 pages because I couldn't wait to know what happened with our guy Alex and my lovely Poppy. Alex and Poppy are both at Alex's younger brother's wedding, and Poppy has, rented out an Airbnb, which is shitty to say the least. And they're both kind of crashing there. And it again goes back and forth with their past holidays, the vacations that they've done, and then coming back to the current summer, like the present summer. So in the past vacation chapters, we find out that both of them have their respective partners. Alex has been infatuated or in love with a certain lady for a long time, and then Poppy also dates around. And so there's this one time when all of them, they vacation together, and there's definitely some tension because at this point Poppy and Alex are really great friends. They're best friends. They're very friendly on surface level. They're doing their inside jokes and stuff like that, but you could sense that there are things that they need to talk about, and that takes back to their trip to Croatia 2 years ago. We still have to really find out what that trip was all about. Emily Henry, your prose are so flowy. Like literally, I could read this in a single day. I'm sure anyone can read this in a day or max 2 days. It's not even like the prose is fast paced and very natural, very flowy, but it packs a lot of information. Like in current chapters, if I'm feeling the sense of tension between Alex and Poppy, I I mean, I don't know yet what happened between them, but I can tell that, how their relationship was in the past, like how comfortable they were with each other. And now at present, that's not the same. Like they're still trying to be comfortable with each other, but they're not. I'm like 289, almost like 300 pager. I think there's around 50, 60 more pages left. So I'm going to read it right now because I can't wait to finish this up. Let's go. This made me think about my vacations so much. Oh, I so badly want to go somewhere. Oh, I loved it, loved it. Oh my God. There are a lot of things that I'm now not going to tell you about because I think the first few hundred pages, first 200 pages were really building up the relationship. Now the next half was really about just revealing things like what happened in Croatia and what happens with Alex and Poppy, especially. But I really don't want to spoil anything. I think you need to read this book if you're into light reading or something in romance this February. It explains everything. It does explain why Poppy is the way she is. She is so out there in your face. She's flamboyant to say the least. She is weird in a way that few people like. I mean, she has her quirks, right? And Alex is really type A, introvert, not really open to new experience, initially at least, kind of a guy. And you get to understand why they are the way they are. It just gives a little bit of backstory of why they're holding back and why there's tension between them. And what I love, 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 love about this book is that they worked on themselves. I feel like I've not read romantic books where the main characters, before just dwelling into a whirlwind of romance, work on themselves first. Like, I really like the fact that this was so practical. And can I just say, I'm so sorry to Poppy's boss, Swapna, who I portrayed as the devil in Prada, but she is such a sweetheart. She's the person who really. Oh dear, Alex. I loved it. I loved it. Oh my god. This made me think about my vacations so much. Oh, I so badly want to go somewhere. Oh, I loved it. Loved it. Oh my god. There are a lot of things that I'm now not going to tell you about because I think the first few 100 pages, first 200 pages were really building up the relationship. Now the next half was really about just revealing things like what happened in Croatia and what happens with Alex and Poppy, especially. But I really don't want to spoil anything. I think you need to read this book if you're into light reading or something in romance this February. It explains everything, it does explain why Poppy is the way she is. She is so out there in your face. She's flamboyant to say the least. She is weird in a way that few people like. I mean, she has her quirks, right? And Alex is really type A, introvert, not really open to new experience initially, at least, kind of a guy. And you get to understand why they are the way they are. There are things that happens in their childhood. It's, again, I like the fact that it's not too much into detail. It's been lightly, just the writer has shed a little light on what happened in their past, and then that's all you need. You don't need like another whole chapter of their childhood trauma. It just gives a little bit of backstory, of why they're holding back and why there's tension between them. And what I love, 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 love about this book is that they worked on themselves. And I was thinking, at least in the first 300 pages, it was going to be a high starter for me. But still, I thought maybe a 3.5 would be great. But I love the fact that they worked on themselves. I feel like I've not read romantic books where the main characters, before just dwelling into a whirlwind of romance, work on themselves first. Like, I really like the fact that this was so practical. If I were having some issues in my past, I would first want to work on myself and then get into a relationship. They were not being hasty about. And can I just say, I'm so sorry to Poppy's boss, Swapna, who I portrayed as the devil in Prada, but she is such a sweetheart. I mean, she was so sweet about it. She's like, I don't just care about your professional excellence at work at R&R. I really care about you as well. So, if there's something that you need to talk, I mean, you can talk to me, but since I'm your boss, if you're not comfortable, you talk to someone else. For that reason, I give People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry 4 stars, and Alex and Poppy at the top of my couple list out of the 4 books. Yeah. And you know what? I'm excited to watch the Netflix movie as well. I hope it's as good as this book. Yes, I have now. I am turned up. I have good high hopes for this entire week. All right, I'll be back with another book soon. Oopsie, I completely forgot to hit record when I was explaining the book 3 of my Emily Henry readathon. And it's Book Lovers. You're already seeing it, and I'm just started to read it. This is still day 3. I just finished People We Meet on Vacation, and now I'm just resuming to my new book. I have really high expectations from this book because I want to read about a lot of book recommendations. I'm excited that this book is about books, and I love that. I love anything around publishing world, books about books. But before that, let's see what the book is about. Nora is a cutthroat literary agent at the top of her game. Her whole life is books. Charlie is an editor with a gift for creating bestsellers, and he's Nora's work nemesis. Nora has been through enough breakups to know she's the one men date before finding their happily ever after. To prevent another dating dud, Nora's sister persuades her to swap her city desk for a month's holiday in Sunshine Falls. It's a small town straight out of a romance novel, but instead of meeting sexy lumberjacks, handsome doctors, or cute bartenders, Nora keeps bumping into Charlie. Now, reading time. Hey everyone, it's the day 4 of my Emily Henry readathon. I am currently on page 200. Hmm, a few things have happened. Again, I don't think I gave a wrap up yesterday or even in the morning. I was just so immersed. I was doing audio and reading the book at the same time. So, what happened in the book so far? Nora is on a vacation to North Carolina with her sister, and her sister is pregnant. I think I talked briefly about her work nemesis, Charlie, who is an editor, and somehow they bump into each other in North Carolina. Sunshine Falls, because apparently it's Charlie's hometown. Nora and her sister both are chilling, having a fun sister time, but her sister Libby, who's pregnant, is adamant to hook Nora up with some cute guy. But she is picky. Nora is a picky one. She is a very type A picky. Honestly, there are a lot of things that I relate with Nora. So Libby prepares this list for Nora, just to take some adventures, to do a few things like a skinny dipping in a lake, or kiss a guy or things like that. So she's trying. She's like, okay, fine. Nora says, okay, fine. I'm gonna fulfill your wishes, Libby, and I'm gonna give it a shot, because she's had really bad relationships in the past, and she actually, the reason for the vacation was that she just recently had a breakup. So now she bumps into Charlie, and Nora and Charlie, initially they had a pissing match with each other. They were really trolling, they were really roasting each other, and slowly and steadily they've built this attraction. The pros of the book as well. So, Nora, Charlie, the whole setting is around books. Of course, it's called Book Lovers. So the prose as well is very much surrounding, the banter, the jokes, the roasting. It is very, either like directly or indirectly, it's related to some book humor, which I adore. I guess enough yapping from my end, and I'm gonna read further than 200 pages, and I am going to come back when I finish this book, because I am 100% sure that I'm going to finish it in another 2 hours. I finished it. Ooh. Hmm. This really exceeded my expectations. I really, really enjoyed reading this book, and I finished it in one day as well. So, challenge completed. It packed so many things in it. The last 200 pages were just like a whirlwind. Like, I felt so related to Nora as a character, to Charlie as a character, to Libby, to so many people in this book. It was so heartfelt. I felt like I'm in a nice cozy blanket, and everything just worked out at the end. Charlie is such a big green flag. I love him. It really felt so relatable again, only because they both were in such a mature relationship. They both understood each other in a way that I don't think a lot of people would. And this felt the most relatable, practical love story romance out of the three that I read. Now, Nora being an elder sister to Libby it felt like it's a mirror. Like, I felt like it was me. I'm sure a lot of you who are elder sisters, brothers to your siblings could completely relate to the fact that you would do anything for them, right? But sometimes you do sacrifice yourself for their happiness. And I think that's the baggage that Nora was carrying through and through for taking care of Libby. And Nora, since childhood, has been a mother to Libby. She wanted to follow her dreams, but every time she wanted to do that, the practicality, like the real life came into the picture, and she had to suffocate her dreams to just cope with the reality. And she's been doing that for a lot of years, and it just became her personality, it just became Nora. And when she meets Charlie, who is such a nice guy. Like, he understands Nora through and through. I adored Nora and Charlie's relationship. It really felt like it was two mature adult people getting into a relationship. And in this book, did Nora and Charlie choose happiness, love over responsibility? Well, you'll have to read the book to find out. And for that reason, I'm going to give Book Lovers a 4.5 stars, highest rated among the three that I've read. Comment down below if you read this book. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you like Nora and Charlie as people? Did you really find Charlie a green flag or not? Yeah, let me know. Hold up. Hold up. So I completely forgot to mention Nora and Charlie on my couples ranking. I'm going to put Nora Charlie on number 1, and then number 2 Poppy and Alex, and the third one, don't even bother. I don't think I remember their names at all. Yeah, the ones from Beach Read. Book of the day is Happy Place by Emily Henry. And of course, a shocker, I'm reading Emily Henry books every day of the week. It's a teeny bit thicker than the rest of the books. Wait, let me read the summary first, and then I will let you know what my expectations are with this book. Harriet and Wynne are the perfect couple. They go together like bread and butter, gin and tonic, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Every year, they take a holiday from their lives to drink far too much wine with their favorite people in the world. Except this year, they're lying through their teeth because Harriet and Wynne broke up 6 months ago, and they still haven't told anyone. But the cottage is for sale, so this is the last time they'll all be here together. They can't bear to break their best friends' hearts, so they'll fake it out for one more week. Interesting. I love a good fake out. I love when exes get together and burn the place down. I hope they do that. I really don't know what to expect other than just what the summary said. And of course, I think there'll be a lot of flashbacks. They're gonna go back to their happy place, I guess. But I also think that from a rom-com perspective, it would be funny to see them just fake the relationship and both of them now being enemies, truly enemies. And at the end, there's not going to be this. I mean, there is going to be a deep backstory. I've read 3 books from Emily Henry, and there's always a deep backstory. So yeah, I have high hopes for this book, and I am again going to try it on audiobook and on my physical book as well. Cue the montage. Place. I'm around 130 pages in of Happy Place. Well, like in a typical Emily Henry book, a lot has happened in the first 100 pages, along with a lot that hasn't happened in the first 100 pages. We get to see the friend group from Harriet and Wynne's little friend circle, and it seems that they've all gathered in Sabrina, one of Harriet's friends. Sabrina, they are all just having a little vacation at Sabrina's parents' house, or her house, which her parents are selling away, so they're going to have one last hurrah. And Sabrina and Parth are getting married this weekend, the same weekend that they're together. And Sabrina doesn't want anyone else other than their friends, like 4 or 5 people that have gathered there. And that makes it more awkward because Wynne and Harriet have to fake out that they're still together, at least till their wedding. They were initially planning to just tell their friends that, you know, they've been broken up for over 6 months. And now they got a, of course, like I predicted, there is a past and a present chapters throughout the book. And so they have real life, and then they have, you know, what happened before. So we get to know how they got to know each other. So Harriet is a medical student, and Wynne works with his family in a ranch. In the first 130 pages, they've been just enjoying their time there. They're just with friends, drinking, having a gala time. And that's what's happened. I mean, a few things here and there have been mentioned, but not too much in the depth. Yeah, I'm really having really high hopes in the later half because you know how Emily Henry books. Yeah, let's find out more. Alrighty.
page 300.
I finished it. God, I just finished it and I had so many things on my mind. Like while I was reading the book, I just kept making notes because I didn't want to end it. Now, clearly, Emily Henry has a pattern. Like the first part of her books are always the yearnings, they're always these tension building, the banters. It's all about those. The first half, like the first 200 pages. And then it just escalates. Like the last few chapters, everything is happening in the last few chapters. And that's exactly what happened in Happy Place as well. While I love the story, I really liked Win and Harriet as a couple. It was again about a relationship that was broken, and then this came out in different layers as well. Of course, with Harriet and Wynn's story, but their friends as respective parents, how the dynamics of the family had been when these people were young, and so that really affected. So it wasn't just broken relationships; there were different kinds of broken relationships within their family, within their friends' family, which were interesting and which again, Emily Henry does baggage the best. And when he's an interesting character because he's good looking, he's got everything that a girl would want, but again, he has really low self esteem. And sometimes you just need the right environment, the right person. And I love Wynn's mother. Like, she is the chillest mom ever. One thing that irked me a little bit was they try to close all the open storylines, all the tension, the things that needed to be discussed all the way at the end. I think it was just a couple of chapters, like everything happened at the end, which I think it's great, but I feel like Harriet and Wynn's confrontation or their final, just breaking the ice moment should have happened a little before. I mean, if I were Harriet, the day I see Win is the day I'm going to discuss. I'm not waiting for the whole weekend to pass on. And yes, so all in all, I did enjoy Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is my fourth and the last book, and I am going to give this a 3.5 stars only because it was an enjoyable read, but I felt like the end pages, the end chapters were just rushed through. I mean, I wouldn't say rushed through, but everything was packed in those end pages. I felt like there needs to be a little balance, but regardless, it was a fun. I'm going to put them on number 3 only because I wish they spoke or discussed about it before, since they had such strong relationship. And even though I appreciate the fact that they both discussed at the end, like how they actually should be communicating and how they shouldn't be hesitant towards sharing their feelings, but should have done that before. Okay, now I'm going to relax a little bit because honestly, my entire mindset these 5 days was just romance, and just how in each and every book I was thinking about my life too. And it was funny, but it was also surprisingly therapeutic. So for all of you who enjoy some light reading, who love romance, I don't even have to say anything. Emily Henry really has a fan following of her own. Like, she has millions and millions and millions of readers who love her book. But again, like, for whoever's watching and have not read any of Emily Henry books, I would recommend it for sure. I might need some time off from romance, but you can definitely pick any one of these up. Yeah. And if you have read any one of these Emily Henry books, or even others that I haven't included, if you would like to recommend, please do comment down below. Pick any of the books up and share with me your favorite Emily Henry book. I will see you soon in the final wrap up. Time for my final thoughts, reading 5 Emily Henry books. All in all, I loved it. I really liked Emily Henry's prose, how her foundation of the book, the plot, is so lighthearted, but it packs so much emotion, so much trauma, one that you can relate with. I'm 100% sure that each one of you are going to at least take something from the book, any of those 5 books. And there are moments in the book that I felt still memorable. I loved sharing with you all my reading nooks. I literally had a blast, and my 2 doggies coming along with me. I hope you enjoyed watching them just napping away while I was reading and filming. They do that all the time, so why not? Even though this time I was reading a lot at my home, I would love to do another readathon somewhere in the future where I could take you out to some really nice reading spots around here as well. It just feels like I've lived 5 different lives in this one week, and I'm so glad to share that with you all. Please comment down below what was the best book out of these 5 that I read, and if the ones that I didn't like you like, or any Emily Henry book that I haven't even touched as of now. Do tell me if there are other romantic books that you're reading right now. What do you love about it? What you don't love about it? What do you love about Emily Henry? Please share with me, and I shall see you soon.